Now, of course, he's an actor and he has done great things in his professional career. But what does that say about his presence in the fitness influencing community, or the dystopian world, you can say? Now, the moment you think about any area where you have to provide information to your audience, you have to be good at what you're doing, which is, if you want to teach acting, then considering that that's the skill you wish to impart, you have to know what you're talking about. Now, that does two things. Of course, it makes it easier for you to teach. It adds value to your teaching, first and foremost, which will simply achieve the task of doing what you intended to do with the task of teaching. And I don't see that happening with him when the fitness teachings are concerned. Now, he might be someone who has a great physique, but that's like saying just because someone knows how to drive a car, they can give you a lesson on automobiles. Those two things are mutually exclusive. So a person could be really great at understanding something, and they cannot have a degree in that area and can still come on a video and talk about complex situations, complex mechanisms, physiological mechanisms, and can really hit the point with explanation. Now, John Abrahams starts by saying something very stupid about how heart attack happens. Now, of course, you can have an understanding of what heart attack is, but if you don't know its pathophysiology, or you don't understand how it impacts someone's physiology in general, and what does it do to the arteries, and what happens in your body when your body is, well, basically responding to the emergency of heart attack, you shouldn't be going online, or at least sit in interviews where you are trying your level best to give an explanation about things you don't understand. You can do that when you're having a conversation with someone, let's say your friend, and there isn't a camera in front of you, because that makes it easier for you to basically relieve yourself from the stress of defending the stupid things you've said in front of millions of people. Now, I want to quickly use an analogy. This explains how credibility can be lost when you're trying to say things which you don't understand. In this case, let's take the example of a table. Now, this I'm borrowing from James Smith analogy. I think it had something to do with confidence. But let's put this picture into perspective. So you have a table, right? And on that table, you have 4 different legs. Each leg defines a specific area of credibility as far as your profession is concerned. So one leg could be your understanding of that area. The other leg is your ability to communicate your understanding. The third leg could be something. Now, when you lose one leg, or let's say you have little to no understanding of that area, then it's fine because you still have 3 legs to handle the table. So it's going to stay put. But what happens when you lose one more and the third one goes away? Then the table topples, and with that goes your credibility. So when I'm coming at him with the idea of criticism, because what he uploads and what he says, especially what he discusses in interviews, is wrong, then I'm not only saying things only to criticize his understanding or criticize his ability to communicate these facts. What I'm also saying is that this will also impact your credibility as an influencer, which just tells you that you should stray away from doing such things, develop a good understanding, and that way you just have one strong leg. And with that, you only have to focus on the other 3 legs, which are basically going to be, well, your ability to communicate what you now understand. And probably the third one could be you developing an honest following of people who follow you, not just because you look a certain way, but because you speak a certain way and because you have a certain level of understanding of the area you're talking about.